Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much for joining me here. I hope you have a great day. Let's take another look here at SUI, see what's going on. Moving its way back up after pulling back pretty hard this morning. This is pretty standard stuff though for this coin. We saw this resistance range retested, rejected, and from yesterday's playout, we can see this is actually fulfilling itself quite nicely here, where the price action came up to hit that resistance range, came back for a local support, our previous high turned new low, and likelihood of further upside. These are generally what you want to look for when you see that break of structure and a retest. I think the likelihood of price action going higher for SUI is greater based on the simple fact that I feel like Bitcoin's going to break its local resistance range here or break through its bullish type of flag pattern, bullish rectangle pattern and break to the upside. I think that we're going to see a retest of 84,000. If that happens, I do believe SUI will pursue itself a little bit further up. Okay, and probably retest as resistance range. And I'm sorry to those who are super big fans of SUI or SUI. I'll try to get used to saying that, but it's an acronym, best as I can see it. It's a ticker symbol, so that's why I call it that. Anyways, let's take a look at the back-end liquidation data, see what's going on. While we're loading this here, I want to say thank you for the awesome feedback. Please hit the like button, comment below if you get a chance. Really appreciate that. And quick congrats to our community members here for some really nice profits here. We're up 656 on a $1,000 portfolio in 40 days based on $50 per trade. So it's a pretty nice little situation here overall. This new strategy is working really well. This is my Premium Plus bot, basically an automated day trading strategy that scalps the hell out of the market lately with great success. So congrats on that. We've also got some swing trades open right now with Bitcoin, Avalanche, and Near Protocol. Those are all longs. I'm avoiding this coin here just based on it being still kind of stuck within its range, but for the most part, it may be worth taking a long here, and let's talk about that. So from the back end here, we can kind of see a lot more liquidation to the upside, closer to the price action. Granted, this is not quite as monumental as that lower area between 210 and 225 we discussed previously, but for the most part, from a macro perspective, we're starting to see more shorts filling these gaps here. In other words, a lot more people trying to short than take longs. We can see that reflected here as well with the liquidation delta being quite high. Keep in mind, you overextend this for too long, the market will inevitably shift its momentum. So there's a good solid chance that we see some late shorts here get hammered here in a little while. Mainly because I feel personally that Bitcoin's going to continue a little bit higher here on the short-term time frame. Do not get it mistaken though, because Bitcoin is still in a macro bearish trend. The overall sentiment is still down. So until we break that larger time frame descending trend, we can presume Bitcoin will inevitably come lower. But in the short term, significant gaps are occurred between 84 and 86,000 for the CME, and that I feel that's going to get filled and retested here in the near future, which would imply that SUI, will continue going higher, right? That's kind of where we're at there. We do see a little bit of a channel here. This is a bullish type of rectangle pattern, which is concurrent with Bitcoin's price action. So wouldn't be surprised if we do see, once again, a retest this upper level. Let's take a quick look here at the daily time frame, work our way down. And in case you missed the update, folks, we're still in a bearish trend. Everything is still down. There's no way around it. We're gonna need to close closer to $3 or higher for a few days of bullish momentum between now and then before we see any type of shift here. Okay, so it doesn't mean you can't still find benefit. I'm just saying that you're taking a long to like $5 or $6, like some people seem to think is a possibility with a leveraged play. That's just it's completely idiotic to consider that. Main reason why is because it's not the market for it for the moment. Okay, that shift in momentum can occur, but trying to be that magic person that buys finds the bottom as you keep getting liquidated, but you only share your trades that are in profit and you don't share your losses. That's a different story altogether. At this point, honestly, from a swing trading perspective, this month we're only at 60%. I've taken 5 trades, had to close 2 out early, and only 3 in profit. While that's still in the green, it's still not the kind of green I like, right? Either way, it's just the way the market is right now. Thankfully, we got our day trading bots just killing it, but that's a different story altogether. Not everyone can qualify for that just based on, unfortunately, KYC requirements in different countries. Anyways, message me if you have questions on that. Let's talk about the daily though. The quick summary here is that there's nothing amazing. There's no hidden bullish convergence. You could argue that we have a second stochastic swing to the upside, which does carry more weight than the first, implying that we are tentatively at our bottom, which I think is a safe thing to say, but it's also not very safe too. If you look at the macro here, we are in our previous range here. I mean, take a look at this here. You can see we spent a decent amount of time, about what, 1, 2, 3, about 6 weeks, about a month and a half between 160 and 230. So with us being below 230, I don't feel super confident that we're back on track. We need to close this month at 230 or higher. Anyways, that's just kind of an observation from a macro perspective. It doesn't mean it's going to happen. It's just something for the moment that's happening. Okay, it's the happening. All right, so 4-hour time frame. We can recognize this here that we are below all moving averages. We're testing the 20-day SMA right now. I'll zoom in on that in a minute. But the truth is, MACD's converging. We're still under 50 on the RSI. There's not a lot of like amazingness here. Now, keep in mind, majority of coins are going to show similar behaviors. This time frame is a transitionary time frame. We got some positive, some negative. Usually, when you have a combination of both, you don't want to trade. Money flow index is rather low. So to me personally, when I see that, it kind of implies there's more selling pressure than buying pressure. And I don't really like that kind of consistency. In other words, we want to see more people buying than selling in order to see the price go up. It's just kind of a very logical consideration there. So the key takeaway here, I would say, is that we're testing our descending trend line. We haven't broken it yet. Until we can close soundly above that level, or just say even 235 or higher, I don't feel confident in recommending a long, because the margins are too small. Like, you could take a long right now to 235, but there's just not a ton of profit available there. So the return on investment risk to reward ratio is too narrow. But if you look at the hourly time frame here, this could tell us a slightly different story. We're still maintaining above the cloud. The lag and span is within the price action. The conversion line is barely above the baseline. There's really only 1 out of 3 considerations here for long, based on the overall situation here. So I don't really love what I see here for this coin in this range, but I also want to admit and recognize that this is a positive situation too. When you break this local structure here and retest it as a new low, the likelihood of further upside is greater. So I do think we're more likely to go up here, but it does require Bitcoin to hit that $84,000 mark or higher, and I personally think that will happen. But the risk to reward ratio is still too narrow here for me. We just have so much resistance in this range that taking a long into it makes very little sense to me personally. It's just me being a bit on the conservative side. It's half the reason why I've taken only 5 trades this month, because it's just a trashy market. It's just the way it goes right now. It's not always going to be like this, but I think there's just so many fundamental catalysts happening day in and day out that we're seeing a ton of chop, and it's not appropriate, or sorry, not ideal for for those who are a little bit more on the conservative side, which is me basically in a nutshell. So anyways, that's kind of where we're at there. Let me know, what are your thoughts? Comment below, post if you want. Just to quickly give you a clarification here too, some people don't know this. I post my playout charts on Twitter, Telegram, and or Discord. It's all available for you there. Obviously, you want to stay abreast on the daily updates for the Plus Spot. That's fine. I got a lot of good information here, so check it out. It's all there for you. And I want to say thank you so much for being an amazing part of my life. Deeply appreciate you hitting the like button every time you watch a video, and I hope you have a phenomenal rest of your day. We'll look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye.